ancient skies, I've had these wandering eyes, but you took me by surprise and you let me inside of you, inside of you, inside of you. There's got to be a part of me inside of you. Inside of you, I could hear you scream my name. Inside of you, oh, Cheerios. Oh, sorry, didn't see you guys there. Forgot the words there, excuse me. I was just drinking an Avery beer and working on a little song cover by Infant Sorrow. Stay tuned for that, but yeah, I just wanted to talk about some social media stuff, social media personality stuff, shameless self-promotion, social media marketing, vlogging, the narcissistic generation that is the Millennials, at least in the US maybe, and just touch on that a little bit and give some context and history, because, you know, I get called out all the time, you know, rightfully so. You put yourself out there, you're gonna have some haters, right? The haters gonna hate. They hate us because they ain't us. But anyway, yeah, you put yourself out there in anything, any endeavor, whether it's running or YouTube or music, or art, any art form, academics, academia. Wow, it's been a while since I've been in class. And yeah, you're gonna get some backlash. Maybe it's close friends, maybe it's your parents, maybe it's some random people that you don't even know on the other side of the world on the internet, some anonymous person on a forum, or you know, whatever. But you know what? Do what you believe in your heart is something you're passionate about, and do what hopefully could provide some sort of positive energy and positive impact to the world. And you know, since I've started this journey on social media, being more active, I guess, on social media as a professional sponsored runner, you know, it's been an amazing part of my life, and it's something I'm really thankful for, and especially thankful to the YouTube channel here for giving me an outlet for this creative energy that I always feel like I've bundled up inside of myself, and for really making videos a medium that's been something I've been passionate about since I was a little kid. I've always been carrying around a video camera, filming family trips and making little movies, trying to you know, make music videos. Music is a hobby, a very small hobby for me, as well as even trying to get into doing some acting types of things and film editing. It's just a big passion and creative outlet for me, and to combine that with my other passion for athletics, for distance running, it's really been a dream come true, and YouTube's really facilitated that. And you know, I got on YouTube basically, you could go back 6 years from now and see old videos on the same channel here, VO2 Max Productions, of what I was doing on YouTube 6 years ago, and it's been a journey since then. I wish I could improve more. I know I got a dead pixel in the spot of my camera. I'm filming with a GoPro Hero 3 right now in these adventures. It looks a little pixelated, but I've tried to improve, and through Patreon support and support of viewers like you, subscriptions and views, I've been able to hopefully up the quality and keep expanding that quality and that experience for you guys. So I'm always open to hear some constructive criticism and feedback and stuff like that. In terms of social media marketing, you know, I came from a background right out of college, thrown into a professional road running, Olympic developed marathon training group, Hanson's Brooks Distance Project out in Michigan. We're pretty isolated out there, not gonna lie. If you read my memoir, Running for the Hansons, self-published book, you could kind of see some of that story. But you know, long story short, I had a lot of time on my hands, and I started making YouTube videos of the team doing workouts and things like that. But I also realized the value of social media marketing in terms of trying to actually get, you know, sponsorship support, right? You want to provide exposure for the brands that support you, and it's a symbiotic relationship, right? You're part of the marketing extension of the brand, hopefully. That's the way I've always seen it. And so I saw the power in social media. I also really had a passion for entrepreneurship and business, even starting in college, taking electives in college and in business and marketing. You know, getting on Facebook freshman year of college, right? Going into Cornell, is only a couple colleges at the time, and then, you know, getting on Twitter right when it started. A little late to Instagram. I got on Instagram, I got a smartphone about 3 years ago for the first time, but you know, growing up as a millennial, typical millennial generation, we're supposed to be very self-absorbed, narcissistic, into taking selfies, doing YouTube vlogs, posting on Instagram all the time. Yeah, I was late to the game with the iPhone, but I do remember, you know, freshman year of college, just sitting in the shared townhouse dorm room with a little a calling card that my parents had put minutes on, so I could call home on the landline phone, because I didn't have a cell phone until sophomore year of college. I am that old, believe it or not, you youngsters, young whippersnappers out there. But anyway, I saw the power of social media and the internet, and I thought it was really cool because I could communicate and spread, you know, videos. I could share videos on YouTube for people around the world and connect with runners around the world. And a lot of you guys are international, and that's something I really treasure, and I think is a really powerful thing with social media, and something that I've always wanted to harness. And then, you know, I'll plug a lot. I plug a lot for my sponsors, Hoka One One, Avery Brewing. For example, every video, every vlog, you know, there's promo codes, there's plugs, there's in-your-face stuff, and, you know, I'm not going to be subtle with it. I believe, you know, nobody likes force down your throat marketing or, like, you know, a gazillion hashtags on Instagram and stuff like that, obviously. But I'm not going to be subtle with it. I'm going to be straightforward and honest with you guys, because, you know, this is how I operate, I think. I'm going to plug a bunch of sponsors in a lot of posts, and, you know, that's how it's going to be. It's not a, you know, subtle Geico commercial or something clever like that, I wish. But, you know, it's an extension of my personality, really, is being kind of a social media addict. You know, I do like connecting with runners around the world on social media. I think it's really neat. I spend a lot of time on my laptop. I spend a decent amount of time shooting and editing videos, and I just have all this creative energy and these ideas for videos in my head that I just always want to get out, and it's this daily thing, really, this daily grind. And so, you know, it's something I'd be doing before I was a sponsored professional mountain ultra trail runner. It's something I was doing anyway. Was making a bunch of videos and getting obsessed with the creative process of media, and then also just kind of being a full-on exercise science type of, well, self-learned exercise science type of running nerd, running coach, and things like that. So it's about combining my passions, and I've been really thankful for the opportunities that I've had, as well as the support from all you guys and the sponsors, and for making this a big part of my life now, even way later. And so, you know, fast forward to when I moved to Boulder 5 years ago, I had zero sponsors, right? I left the road running scene. I'm still going to do road races, but I left professional half marathons and marathons. I got dropped. I am a single sponsor, right? Came to Boulder, a couple $1,000s in my pocket. Old beat up 97 Toyota RAV4 with, you know, 120,000 miles on it. I got it in Pontiac, Michigan. And yeah, a few $1,000s to my name. No money saved, any more money for food or rent. Rent in Boulder's pretty expensive, and no sponsorships, no job lined up, just a dream to be a professional mountain ultra trail runner. And even before that, after Hanson's Brooks, I didn't have anywhere to go, right? I left Hanson's Brooks after the Olympic trials, 2012, February 2012. I had to go straight home to my parents' house, live in my parents'. Well, I lived in my childhood room. It wasn't a basement. We don't have a basement, but I lived upstairs. But I was plugging away on social media every freaking single day. I said social media is a full-time job if I want to be a sponsored athlete. And that's kind of the way I saw it, it's the mindset I saw it. I want to perform really well as an athlete. I want to be, you know, one of the best mountain ultra trail runners in the world, for sure. I want to maximize athletic potential and just train like crazy and drink beer like a madman. I said that wrong. Rod Dixon quote, "All I want to do is train like crazy and drink beer. Train like a madman and drink beer," I believe is what he said. Yeah. Trust me, this is only half a beer. I'm only half a beer in for the day. And I didn't smoke anything. I actually don't smoke, for those of you wondering. I've not used my legal rights as a Colorado resident, so to speak, but all else aside, I digress. Anyway, came to Boulder, working on social media though. You know, I was slowly building some sort of YouTube and Twitter following at the time. Facebook fan page as well, Facebook marketing. And yeah, I didn't have a job. I wasn't running super well. I won Mount Washington that year in what was an American record time, 58:27. up Mount Washington that year. It was the U.S. mountain running champs, so I got to make U.S. team. I won the White River 50 mile, broke Anton Krupicka's course record by 11 or 12 minutes, I think. First 50 mile out near Mount Rainier. Awesome, great event. Still didn't have a sponsorship. I got Drymax Socks as my first sponsor that summer after going into White River. Got Drymax Socks, which I'm really thankful for. Still with me today. But it was a hard, tough time because I was running out of money and I didn't have a sponsor right away. I didn't have a sponsor, a main shoe sponsor, for a while after that, actually. And you know, I didn't have a film crew following me around taking professional pictures. I didn't have drone shots, so I had to make my own content, and that's how I've always kind of felt. I mean, I've been extremely lucky in the past years after getting sponsored to have magazine ads and to have video projects by title sponsors and things like that, but at the same time, even in the last year, I like to make my own media. I take my own shots, my own selfies with GoPros and drones, and you know, do the drone shots, do the videos as kind of a shameless self-promotional thing, because I do want to gain social media traction. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like, that's an honest part of the game, is your value as an athlete, as a sponsored athlete. You want to provide some visibility for your brand. And you know, some people don't like that. They don't like the commercialization. But you know, it's business. It is business, and it's something I'm passionate about anyway, right? I like this social media marketing. I'm a social media addict. You know, I admit, probably online too much. It's good to disconnect sometimes. But anyway, it's in Boulder, a couple months in, running out of rent money, running out of food money, got my socks sponsorship, didn't get a whole lot of prize money at Mount Washington. I got $1,500 at Mount Washington. That was good prize money for getting, for running under an hour and winning, 1,500 bucks. Then I got 800 bucks at White River 50. So I had another month cushion basically for rent and food in Boulder. And so I had to get a real job. I applied. It was actually really hard at the time. You know, graduated college 2009. It was kind of hard to get a job in the U.S. in 2009. And so I, you know, got this customer service job at Otterbox up in Fort Collins. I was commuting an hour each way up I-25 to Fort Collins from Boulder, working customer service with a, you know, headset on, dealing with people's broken iPhone cases and well, BlackBerry cases, I don't know what cases they, Android cases, things like that, iPad cases, actually, a lot of those too. And yeah, it was you know, getting paid a little over minimum wage in the US at the time. It was probably around $10 an hour, and I didn't like it because I had to, it was more like real world stuff, you know. You have to wake up early and run before your job, and you get home tired from a work shift and you gotta run. And unlike a lot of you, I don't have any family obligations, so still a heck of a lot easier. And so, you know, kind of spoiled and entitled. But I'd come from a background of 4 years of customer service, working. I've worked in customer service jobs scooping ice cream. I've worked obviously a lot of years in shoe stores, but usually just part-time gigs, so not full-on full-time manual labor or any crazy 70-hour work week type of gigs. So I'm, you know, been really lucky for that. I haven't really been introduced to the real world, so to speak, since graduating from college, and I realize that's a very distorted view of things, but I'm very thankful for the opportunity. So after several months, I was finally able to cobble together some sponsorships, but I think it took a real social media push, and it took putting yourself out there and taking some risks. And I think, you know, that's all I wanted to say really with this video, is that, you know, you dream big, you put yourself out there, you get shot down, and you have a lot of critics, right? It's not the critic who counts, though, it's the man or woman who is actually in the arena, whose fate is marred by dust, sweat, and blood. I don't remember the whole quote there, but it's a good one. Classic man in the arena. You know, you have these haters. You have these haters come in, they'll be like, "You're too short, Pre. You can't do it, Pre. One leg's longer than the other, Pre. You don't have what it takes, Pre." Those are kind of paraphrased excerpts from one of the Prefontaine movies. But anyway, yeah, you get shot down, and it could be someone close to you. It could be an anonymous troll on the interwebs around the world. It could be some kid sitting in their mom's basement, or some old guy or woman, I guess, too. But yeah, it's a risk, but you have to ask yourself, are the rewards worth it? You know, what's the return on investment for my time and energy and tears and blood and sweat and passion? But yeah, it's a journey. It's been a journey. I've been really thankful for the opportunities I've had, and it wouldn't have been possible without the support of all you guys, really, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. The social media has really helped me, and I hope, and hopefully it's something that, you know, it's given me a creative outlet to share my hobbies like music and now even more acting stuff. So you will see some of that. I will warn you. I'll try to say it's a non-running related type of video, but as well as sharing my passion for the sport of distance running, whether it's running road marathons, 5Ks or 10Ks, or doing mountain ultra trail races up to 100 miles, ultra marathons, things like that. I really do get a kick out of it, and hopefully, you know, you could see that with your own life and your own career or your own passions, that, you know, in different ways you could say, hey, I'm gonna dream big, I'm gonna put myself out there. I know there's gonna be critics, I know there's gonna be haters, I know there's gonna be people that just disagree with whatever I do because I'm putting myself out there, and you're just gonna go ahead and go for it and do it because it makes you happy. You know, it's like in that movie Little Miss Sunshine, do what you love and F the rest, right? But hopefully, you know, what you love and what your passion is something that in some way could create positive energy for society and for the world, a positive contribution in some way, whether it's inspirational or it's entertaining or both, or you know, informative or something like that, educational, that it is part of a productive thing that helps other people and provides meaning for your life. And so I think that's really key and really important, and hopefully, you know, you guys might not like a lot of my opinions on diet or even on training or you know, trying to sing and play the guitar, things like that. I know I'm pretty bad at singing and acting. Don't hate on me too much there. It's kind of part of a big joke. But anyway, it's all part of my creative energy and my creative process, and being into social media marketing and business and plugging my sponsors like crazy is just kind of an offshoot of my personality. That's how I really am in real life. So you know, a lot of people see like Casey Neistat vlogs, probably one of the most, if not the most popular vlogger on YouTube these days. You know, you see his vlogs got really popular and people start to edit like Casey does, right? They do these shots with the music and the time lapse, and it's very like Casey-esque type of vlogs, and I just don't get that, because I like people to have authentic, original content. And at the same time, I don't like that word authentic always. It gets thrown around a lot, especially in trail ultra running. You know, just be yourself. It's about being yourself and not always copying others. But there, you know, like in business, there are successful business models and business patterns, and people copy them because they're successful, and then they find success as well. So you know, in that token, it's all a balance kind of. So do what you love, F the rest. You know, haters gonna hate. It's not the critic who counts, but make sure you're doing something that's hopefully somewhat you know, meaningful and beneficial, maybe to others or to society as a whole. Hopefully it's not too vain, or hopefully you don't find my YouTube channel too vain. I grew up as part of the Millennials, you know, with this kind of idea that we've always had the internet, whereas I've been old enough to say that we did not have the worldwide interwebs in our house till I was in middle school, and again, I didn't have a smartphone till sophomore year of college, so wasn't always on the internet really that much as a child, and I was running around the woods, which helped a lot. But anyway, I digress. That's all I wanted to get out with this talk. Thanks so much for all your support on here, guys. Really appreciate it. Definitely stay tuned, or definitely comment below with some constructive criticisms or stuff you'd like to see with the channel here. Really appreciate hearing all your comments and hearing your journeys and where you're coming from and things like that. Sorry I can't get back to all the comments, but I do read most of them, so thank you so much for that. Thanks for all the subscriptions, the Patreon support. Follow me on social media at Sage Kennedy, Twitter and Instagram, as well as Sage Kennedy fan page on Facebook. Thanks so much, guys. Hope your running's going well, and stay tuned for more Sage running videos.